Okay, so today I'll be teaching you about two-way frequency tables. So on the side here, we've got boys and girls. And then on the top, we've got basketball, baseball, and football. So it's how many boys prefer basketball? 13. How many prefer baseball? 15. How many prefer football? We don't know. But how many boys are there? There are 48 boys. And then how many girls prefer basketball? 23. How many prefer baseball? We don't know. How many prefer football? 13. But how many girls are there? We don't know. Now, the total is like how many total like basketball, how many total prefer baseball, and how many total prefer football. And then the total here is how many boys are there, how many girls are there. So here, it's the total right here is the total for both these. So that would be how many students are we surveying, or boys and girls. So there are a total of 48 plus something girls, which would be 100. So 100 boys and girls being surveyed. Now you'll be wondering, we're missing this point right here, this point right here, this point right here, and this point right here. So how do I solve this? It's actually quite simple. It's like variable equations. For example, like 15 plus x is equal to 31. Well, we can solve that probably. What's up 31 divided by 15 is what? So what would x be? In this case, this is x. So it would be 31 minus 15, that would be 16. So there are 16 girls that prefer baseball. And in football, same thing. Actually, before we move on, we would want to check our answer. So it would be 15 plus 16 is equal to 31. That's correct. So our answer is correct. And if you want to check it, you can also check it like this. 23 plus 16 plus 13 is equal to what? We do not know yet, so we can come back to that later, I guess. So right here we can do this. So 100 minus 48 is equal to 52. But like earlier, we could have checked if 16 was correct. So then it would be 23 plus 16 plus 13, which is 52. So that's also another way we can get it, like this. Next, we would have to get football. How many boys prefer football? So that would be 33 minus 13. 33 minus 13. That would be 20 boys prefer football. Now we can check that. 20 plus 13 is equal to 33. That's correct. And then we can also check 15 or 13 plus 15 plus 20 plus 20. That's 48, so that is correct. Next, finally, we have to figure out the total number who like basketball. That would be 13 plus 23, which would be 36. Now, of course, we have to check if this is correct. Is 13 plus 23 36? That's correct. Is 36 plus 31 plus 33 100? That is correct. So that checks out. And now we have fully filled in our two-way frequency table. Okay, so now I did put these problems in, but I did not put them in well. Yeah, okay, so we have let's start with question number 1. So we've got question number 1, which is how many boys prefer football? Now this is a very simple problem to solve. There are a total of 48 boys, and then out of them 20 like football, so we can just write in that 20 boys prefer football. That's just our answer. If you want, you can write 20 boys or 20 boys prefer football, but I won't write that to shorten the length of the video. And then our second problem is, what was the percent of students that preferred baseball? So now if we see here, we've got a total of 100 students, and then we have 15 boys and 16 girls that prefer baseball. So 31 total students that prefer baseball. So to solve this problem, you wouldn't say 31 students, you would say the percent. So that would be 31 divided by 100. So that would be approximately 31%. prefer baseball. 31% prefer baseball. Now, if you had a more complicated problem that was like for example, like what 31 divided by what 62 people who were surveyed, it would just be the same thing. So like 31 divided by 62, that would be 50% prefer baseball. But that's not our problem, so we won't do that one. Next, we have this pretty lengthy problem. That's our next problem is very lengthy. So you would probably get this problem, and it says find the conditional relative frequency that a student prefers basketball given they are a boy. So here, we should underline this actually. So it says given that they are a boy. This is actually very important because now we aren't dividing how many prefer basketball out of 100. Then that would be 13 divided by 100. That is incorrect. That's not what we're doing. We're finding the conditional relative frequency that a student prefers basketball given that they are a boy, meaning out of 48 total boys, what percent prefers basketball? So to solve this, we would do 13 divided by 48. I'm not doing this just to use colors, just to use all my colors. I'm totally not doing it. So that would be 13 divided by 48. Which is not 100, if you didn't know this. Which equals, let's do this real quick. So 13 divided by 48, that would be about 27. So that would be about 27.1%. Now, your teacher may want you to write, to round it to the nearest whole number. So then that would just be 27%. And if that doesn't matter, then it will be 27.1%. Now, this problem is actually very special because it's asking, it's telling us to find the conditional relative frequency that a student prefers basketball given they are a boy. Meaning, if that the person is a boy, which would be out of 48 total, how many of those boys prefer basketball? So that would just, it's really simple. It would just be 13 divided by 48. So that is 27.1%. Okay, now we have this final problem, which is number 4, find the conditional relative frequency that a student prefers football given they are a girl. So once again, this is like problem 3, but it's now for girls and football. So given that they are a girl, now we want to underline this again, given that they are a girl. It means that out of 52 girls, how many prefer football? Which would be 13. So once again, we are doing 13 divided by 52 instead of 48 or 100, which would be, so 13 divided by 52, that would be 13 divided by 52, that would be 25% of girls prefer football. Because remember, out of how many girls is football preferred among them?